morning, good morning. We're starting a little bit early for some coffee and chat time. Be sure and drop a comment to let me know that you are there. That's odd. Why does it? Okay, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but okay, cool. Hope you guys can hear me. Alright, whatever. I see there's some folks there. Don't be shy. Don't lurk in the background. Say hi. Say good morning. Ask me anything, because why not? Tell me what you're drinking. Is it coffee? Is it water? Is it something stronger? Seems like sound is working fine. Oh, good morning, Fashion Theory. Hello, dear. How are you today? What would you like to work on? Cool. We've got 5 minutes to just hang out and chat. You have your coffee? Today I'm using my Corgi Butt mug from Misery Ceramics. Love it. You guys gotta see this. Let's see if I can get it close enough to actually see the design. Yeah, there we go. Corgi butt perfection. Yeah. Hips and hamstrings. We can absolutely work on hips and hamstrings. Is it the inner part of your hip, outer part of your hip, whole hip, back of hip, front of hip? What part of your hip is bothering you that you want to work on? Is it that external rotation? Is it forward and back movement? What's grumpy? What needs help? Hello, Dragos Mugurio? Did I pronounce that right? Thank you for the welcome. Been here for a little bit. Mental health is very important. Yes. Call me Drago or Mug. All right, Drago. Very cool. Nice to meet you. And yes, I agree. Mental health is very, very important. If you ever need any help with the stream, please let me know anytime. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Are you going to hang out and do yoga with me? Fashion theory, the whole hip area, really. Yep, we can do that. Hip 360. Drago says, sadly, no, mistress, I'm hungry. Well, you should go feed yourself. Food is just as important as mental health. Crow Girl says, everything hurts and I'm dying. Yes, that has been my week. Drago, I need to feed myself. Yes, go feed yourself. Enjoy whatever it is you have. Later, I'm going to have a, like, omelet with everything in it. It's going to be great. Crow Girl, oh my gosh, the weather has been so awful. My joints feel like they're full of ground glass. It is not the best ever. Aw, Crow Girl, I missed you too. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you are back. I'm glad you're able to fit this in your busy couple of weeks. I know you've got a lot going on right now. Yeah, Crow Girl, do you want to work on anything in particular? Fashion Theory has already said hips and hamstrings, so we're gonna do some lower body stuff. I was thinking we might throw some twists in there for the back, maybe some shoulder stretches in. I don't know. What else? What else are you feeling? Oh, coffee. Coffee is life. Another minute or two. Let's see. Crow Girl sounds awesome. I'm up for anything. Hips and lower back are always trouble spots for me. I know, darling. I know. All right, so if you are all set up with your mat, then go ahead and start to come to a comfortable seated position, just somewhere that works for you. You can sit cross-legged with the leg in front or on top. It just depends on how you're feeling. If your hips are super tight or super grumpy, you are always welcome to sit on a block to elevate the hips and let everything kind of relax a little bit more. Or on a cushion or on a folded, rolled up blanket. Whatever works if you need to. All right. Okay. For my own sanity here, I need to be more centered. Whew, there we go. All right. Just to start out, comfortable seated position. Hands can rest lightly on the knees. Let the shoulders relax down. Take a second, notice, are you sitting here and hunching? See if you can lift through the heart. Let the shoulders melt down. Maybe draw them back just a little bit. We tend to, in our lives, sitting at desks or standing for long periods of time, slowly start to cave in on ourselves. And especially like with cell phones and sitting at a computer, everything kind of rounds forward. So I want you to lift through the heart. Draw the shoulders back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. So find this tall seat, but without being rigid. Can you be strong but soft? That's such a metaphor for life, right? Being strong but not being hard, not being closed off. Being strong, being soft and open. Lengthening through the crown of the head, sitting a little bit taller. Feel your sit bones as they push down into the floor. Let your Hips relaxed, let your knees fall open. Hands are light on the knees. You can also just fold them into the lap if that feels better for you. Let's take a deep breath in, and deep breath out. Again, big inhale. Big exhale. Inhale again, fill your lungs. Exhale and empty. We'll continue with strong breaths like that. Inhale. I want you to hold it in at the top. And then exhale. Empty the lungs completely and hold it out at the bottom. Inhale. Feel your diaphragm, feel your belly fill rather than your chest lifting, and hold. Exhale. Feel it empty and whole. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale, returning to your normal breath. Beautiful. Let's take a big breath in. Just reach the arms up. Draw the thumbs towards the space behind you. Feel yourself reach a little bit taller, not arching the back, lengthening straight up. And as you exhale, we're just going to find a gentle twist. Right hand comes behind, left hand across. Let that twist start in the base of the spine and slowly work its way up, vertebrae by vertebrae, up to the base of the skull. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Find a little bit more space. Nothing too intense, nothing too crazy. We're just getting started. And slowly release it back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Thumbs draw back in space. Exhale, slowly twist to the second side. Left hand comes behind, right hand can come across to the left knee. Letting that twist start at the base of the spine, slowly work its way all the way up, looking over the left shoulder. And take deep breaths here in your twist, finding a little bit more space, but don't force it. Nothing too intense, just getting going. Slowly release it back to center. Let's take the arms up again. Inhale, reaching up. Thumbs draw back in space. This time I want you to let the weight rock back towards the sit bones a little bit more. You might feel your knees start to kind of lift up. Don't go so far back that you fall, but really lengthen up. Eyes can go up. And then exhale to sweep the hands down and bow forward. Just as far as you can, gently. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, around. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, round. Inhale, maybe you bow a little bit farther each time. Exhale, maybe you don't. Inhale, sweep it up one last time. Exhale, bow over the legs. Inhale, just come back up to your neutral position. Whew. Might feel a little wobbly in the head. It's a technical term. You might feel a little lightheaded from sweeping up and sweeping down. Deep breaths. That's all right. Just experience it. Just feel it. We're going to take another twist. A little bit more intense this time. You can gently press into the left hand, looking over the right shoulder. And slowly back to center. Second side. Just take the right hand across. You can gently press into it. And slowly back around. Yes. Take a second, switch which leg is on top or in front. Let's walk the right hand out to the side. Left sit bone's going to stay planted down into the floor. Depending on how tight everything is, you might start feeling a stretch right here. Maybe down in the front part of the hip or even in the back of the lower back. Soft right elbow. Your arm is strong but soft like a spring. Left arm can sweep up overhead, bicep next to the ear. Eyes can stay forward, up, or down, whatever feels best on your neck. You can allow yourself a little bit of movement here. A springy movement in the right arm. Make sure the left shoulder is staying away from the ear. You don't want it hunching up. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Guide yourself back up with the left arm. Back to center. Left hand, we walk it out. Same song, second verse here. Right hip stays down into the floor. Soft left elbow, strong arm. Find the start of your stretch. Right arm sweeps up and overhead. Eyes go wherever feels best on your neck. Right shoulder is away from the ear. Don't want to hunch it up. And then slowly guide yourself up with the right arm. Walk the right hand out again. Left arm sweeps up, finding that stretch. And then turn your chest towards your thigh. So you're rotating slightly. It's a very small rotation. If you need to, you can always bring everything a little bit farther forward so it's not quite to the side. Just find where your best stretch happens. Don't forget about your left arm. It's still reaching up. The thumb's trying to go up towards the ceiling. Right arm is still soft. Left hip is still planted into the floor. And we'll slowly come back to center and bring it back up. Second side, left hand walks itself out. We reach across, find your stretch, and then turn the chest down towards the thigh. Bring everything forward if you need to. If this is too intense or you don't feel like you can move at all, just start to bring your chest towards the shin, and that will help. Keeping the right arm strong, thumb reaching up for the ceiling, stretching out. And then slowly back and up. Shake it out, wiggle it out. Let's bring the bottom of the feet together. Heels can be tucked in tight, but not like as close as you can get them. I want you to have some mobility here. Hands to the ankles and just find a little flap in your butterfly pose. Sit bones are pushing down. We'll lift the knees up, lower them down. Feel the engagement through the inner part of the hip in towards the groin, lifting and lowering. Now when you lower, I don't want you to just relax down. I want you to actively push the knees towards the floor with the strength of the hips. You'll notice my hands are gesticulating. They're not pushing on my knees. So I want you to use the strength. Sit up as tall as you can. Lift the knees, press the knees down. Strong hips are open hips. Lift and lower. Belly strong here. Do this 2 more times. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Ooh, and shake that out if you need to. From here, let's take a deep breath in. Lift up through the heart. Let the eyes go up. Exhale and round. Inhale. Lift. Heart is up towards the ceiling. Eyes go up. We're not just dropping the head back. Everything's strong. And then exhale, round. Let's do that again. Inhale, up. Oh, working through the spine as much as you can. Now you are actually rocking yourself back onto the back of the hips here a little bit so that you can really cave in. Inhale up. I want you to stretch the back. This stretches the front of the body. And then as you round, we stretch the back of the body. Tuck the chin towards the chest if it feels all right. Let's do that one more time. Lift up and back. Woo, that is a very large ant. Come back up to sitting up nice and tall, and then slowly start to hinge forward from the hips. Reaching the heart forward, keeping the spine long. You can walk the hands out for a little bit of support here. Hanging out in this stretch. Now you might feel this on the inner hip. You might feel it out into the inner thigh. You might feel it into the glutes. It just depends on you. This guy keeps coming back. Go away, go away. Nice and soft, but also strong. Now from here, let's walk both hands over towards the right. Working the chest towards the thigh as much as you can, just like we did a second ago. You might not go as far in this particular range of motion. That's okay. Make sure the left hip is staying down on the floor. You can use the hands, press them down, draw yourself forward if it feels all right. And slowly walk it back to center and over to the left. I was able to get my lower back to crack finally in a spot that's been bothering me for the last 8 months. And everything is so much better. Lengthening and folding. I'll walk it back to center. Now I want you to lengthen just a little bit more in the center and then let yourself round wherever you round to. So maybe the heart is going towards the feet. Maybe the top of the head is going towards the feet. If you're up high, don't worry about it. It's all good. Slowly working on that softness, that stretch. You can let gravity draw you down, just relaxing into it. If you're up high, let the top of the head hang forward. Imagine water coming off the back of your head down over the top of your head. And that's gravity drawing you down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly walk the hands in, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time, all the way back up. All right, take the left foot and just bend up the knee and then slide the right foot underneath it. So your right heel is trying to get in front of your left hip. Your right knee is trying to be in front of your right hip. So if you can get it farther over, great. If this puts bad pressure on your right knee, just slide it back out a little bit, okay? I'm going to take the left ankle and try to cross it over your right knee and slowly stack the shins. Now, if you have super tight hips, you might be up here. That's fine. As long as you don't feel like you're falling over backwards, you're still getting some progress here. Hands can be beside you lightly on the floor or even behind you lightly on the floor. Maybe you find a little lift and lower with the left knee, wherever you are. Little half butterfly flap in our fire log pose. If your shins are stacking and you're like, yeah, I'm just hanging out here, it's great, whatever, you can get a deeper stretch by walking the hands forward and leaning the chest forward. Try to keep the spine long so you're not hunching over the legs, but you're leaning forward from the hips. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. Now, if you're leaning forward, you don't want to be trying to lift and lower the knee. But if you're still sitting upright, you can keep up with that as long as it feels like a productive movement. And slowly walk the hands back in wherever you are. We're going to lift the left knee up high to set the foot down and switch it out. Bring the right foot down to the floor. Left knee will slide underneath. Try to match where you were on the other side. Take the right ankle, bring it across the knee, and slowly stack. Now, when I say stack, I mean both of your shins are right on top of each other. So you don't want them making an X. You don't want the bottom foot in towards you. You want it out in front so you've got that nice parallel line going on. And wherever you were on the other side, hands beside, slightly behind, working on lifting and lowering. Nice deep breath, sitting up tall. If you did on the other side, we'll just bring that knee down and walk the hands forward. Ooh, this side is a little bit tighter for me. If you notice that one side is more intense than the other, or it just feels different, that's perfectly normal. Humans are not symmetrical. That just means we have to work on that tighter side a little bit more to work towards having balance in the body, working towards that symmetry. All right, let's slowly walk it back. Lift the right knee up. Ooh, uncross, uncross. And you straighten the legs out. Give them a little shake. Little windshield wiper back and forth. And let's sweep the legs around. We're going to come up to a tabletop position. If you want, take a second, grab a drink, adjust things. I'm almost out of coffee and it's very sad. All right, palms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Strong, soft arms. So you're wrapping through the upper arms, trying to point your elbows back toward your thighs. If you were to bend, your elbows would be pointing back, not out. When you wrap, you're going to notice your shoulders automatically try to draw down the back. That's good. That's what we want. We don't want to be hunching into the shoulders, and we don't want the shoulders pulling forward up towards the ears. We're going to wrap, draw them back, belly pulls in nice and strong. Try not to lock your elbows here. You can even press the tops of the feet lightly into the floor for a little bit more engagement. Inhale, cow pose. Draw the heart forward, lift the sit bones up. And exhale, round the spine up towards the ceiling. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale and round. Inhale, strong. Exhale. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. You can sit the hips back for a breath. Come down. You can leave the hands right where they were or reach them forward. It's up to you. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And bring yourself back up to tabletop. Now we're going to do a challenging pose called hovering cat. Okay, this is going to work on full body strength, but especially in the core. Very important, do not lock your arms. Strong arms, soft elbows, wrap, everything's nice and strong. What we are going to do is press into the tops of the feet and try to hover the knees an inch or 2 or 3 off the floor. If you cannot hover, but you can find that engagement, that's perfectly okay. I want you to feel strong here. So nice and strong. We're going to lift the back up just a little bit. Really pull the belly in. Your belly button is looking for the ceiling. Nice and strong. Take a deep breath in. Press into the tops of the feet. Hover. Big breath in. Big breath out. If you feel yourself start to shake, that is okay. Keep breathing. One more inhale. Exhale, release it down and bring it back. Now you probably felt that in your core and also in your quads. That's good. Your arms, I'm sure, felt it because, you're holding yourself up. We're going to do it again. Set yourself back up. Push the floor away. Belly draws in, spine is rounding slightly. So you're not all the way rounded here. You're just pulling everything in really, really strong. Press into the tops of the feet. Hover the knees off the floor just a couple of inches. We don't want to be up high. It's not a downward dog. You can tuck the tailbone towards the floor. Feel how that changes the engagement. Another big breath in. Exhale. Set it down and bring it back. Deep breaths. If you need to, take a second, open and close the hands. Roll the wrists. That ant is back and it's on my microphone. What on earth? Set back up. I guess he wants to do yoga too. We're going to do this one more time. Just as strong as before, if not stronger. Press the floor away. Belly pulls in. Tuck the tailbone down. Press into the tops of the feet and hover. Nice and strong. Now, wherever your knees are, see if you can get them closer to the floor. Just an inch, maybe 2 off the floor. One more breath in. And let it down. Bring it back. Child's pose. Forehead comes down. You can keep your knees together here and maybe reach the hands back. Let everything relax. Big breath in. Big breath out. And let's come back up. I've lost it. It's gone. Okay, fun. Come back forward into your tabletop pose. We're just going to tuck the toes from here. Find your downward dog. Now, starting out in your downward dog, I want you to bend your knees. Lift your hips up as high as you can. Push the floor away so that we've got a strong straight line from the top of the head to the hips. And then slowly soften the heels towards the floor. And then maybe, if you feel all right here, we start to straighten the legs. If they don't go completely straight, that's perfectly okay. If your heels are floating off the floor, that's perfectly okay. Nice and strong. Now, if you want to, you can walk the dog. So bend one knee, bend the other knee. Gorgeous stretch on the backs of the legs, getting into the calves, into the hamstrings. Everything feels so good here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Lift the heels up high. Come up high onto the toes. Maybe the knees are still bent. The legs don't have to be straight. And then soften both heels towards the floor. One full breath here. Slowly bring the knees back down. Untuck the toes. No, I lost my laptop. And sit the hips back into a child's pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I just get so involved in class. My laptop goes to sleep. There. All right. Coming back up. Tabletop. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Find your downward dog nice and strong. Now we're going to walk the feet in towards each other. take the right leg and lift it up. Now you can lift it up as high as you're able, keeping the hips level, or just float it off the floor. It doesn't have to be high. Wherever you are, we're going to pull the knee up into the chest and try to step the foot forward between the hands. And then slowly lower the left knee down. Now you can adjust, ooch and scooch here until your knee is stacked over your heel and your hips are coming forward into your best stretch. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, release the stretch. Bring the hips back. And then exhale, draw it forward. Now you should be feeling a really deep stretch on the front of the left hip. Should be getting some compression on the front of the right hip. Inhale, bring it back, releasing the stretch. You can grab blocks here to go under your hands if you need. Exhale, bring it forward. Again, bring it back. And exhale, bring it forward. Planting the left hand down, find that strong arm, soft elbow. You're pushing the floor away. It's so tempting to just lock the arm and hang out, but I want you to keep it slightly bent. I want you to push the floor away. Right hand's going to slide up to the thigh. Find a twist, looking over the right shoulder. If you feel strong and balanced, you can take the right arm, reach it up for the ceiling. Push the floor away so strong that your fingertips go up a little bit higher. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. When you relax the right hand down to the floor, we're going to bring it to the inside edge of the right foot. Heel toe the foot out to the edge of the mat. You can turn the toes out and let yourself come forward a little bit more. This is going to get you a slightly deeper stretch. See if you can keep the knee stacked over your heel. Maybe it goes out just a little bit more if you need that space. And then maybe try to come down to the left elbow. If you feel okay, you can come down to the right elbow. If this is too intense, come back up to the right hand or even back up to both hands. Deep breath in. Deep breath out in our lizard pose. I cannot do this pose without thinking of Mushu in Mulan, where, he's saying he's a dragon, not a lizard, and how he doesn't do that tongue thing. It's a thing. Every single time I do this pose, for as long as I've done yoga, Pino's TX, hello, a yoga foot exercise information for my feet problem. What can I do? So honestly, one of the best things you can do for your feet is get a golf ball or a lacrosse ball or even a baseball and put it under your foot and roll it back and forth. Right hand under the shoulder, left hand under the shoulder, pressing up to the palms. And we start to bring the hips back. Walk the hands back, let the right toes lift up. We're going to hang out here. So when you try to stretch your feet, you can, we'll do a foot stretch here in a second, but it's really difficult to get the kind of intense release that you need for feet issues by doing just foot stretches. So I highly recommend getting a golf ball. How can I do that? Just if you find a hard ball, you can put it under your foot and roll it around. Let's walk the hands forward. Give me just a second. I'll grab one and kind of show you real quick. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee up, step the right foot back, and lower the knees down to the floor. Untuck the toes, and sit back into a child's pose. Grab a drink, hang out here. Let me see if I've got, yes. So, hard ball, put it down, put your foot on it, and literally just back and forth. You can go side to side, you can go in circles, but that's going to be one of the best things for foot issues. Also, stretching the calves is going to help with that. So you can stand on the edge of a step and let your heels come lower, stretching, or even downward dog will help. Speaking of which, come back up to your tabletop position, tuck the toes, lift the hips, find your downward dog. Walk the feet in towards each other. We're going to do the other side. So, pick up the left leg, lift it up as high as you like. Tuck the knee into the chest and try to step it between the hands. Coming forward and down, make sure the knee is stacked over the heel and lower your right knee to the floor. Untuck the toes. As you come forward and down, make sure that knee stays stacked over the heel. This gives you the most space and the best stretch. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again. Inhale, bring the hips back. Exhale, drop forward into the stretch. Inhale, bring it back. And exhale. Again, inhale. Releasing the stretch. And exhale, maybe finding a little bit more space. Hand can slide up to the thigh. Find a twist, looking over the left shoulder. If you feel strong and balanced, pushing the floor away, we reach the left arm up. If you feel yourself kind of wobbling here, squeeze the thighs. Engage the legs a little bit more to help stabilize. Deep breath in. As you set the left hand down, it's going to come to the inside edge of the left foot, heel toe out to the side. Turn your toes out and come down a little bit farther. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now, if you did on the other side, okay, thank you, but if you are interested in a private session, you can go to my Patreon page, which is Fit Strong Fairy Mom on Patreon, and there is a tier that gives you one private session a month. You're welcome to go and check that out. Bring the right elbow down to the floor. Maybe you stay here if you did on the other side. Maybe you bring both elbows down. It might be a little bit more intense on this side. It might not. It might be more intense on the other side. It just depends on you. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Pino, there is no need to be sorry, but I do not do private sessions for free. You are welcome to purchase one, but my time is valuable. Again, big breath in. Slide yourself back up to the left hand. Press back up to the right hand and slowly walk the hips back. Let the left toes lift up, sitting the hips back. Nice and strong. Big stretch here. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let's bring it forward. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, we lift up, step back, find your downward dog, and then slowly bend the knees, sit down. Keep the knees together, keep the toes tucked, and walk the hands back. So here's a foot stretch, big toes together, heels might drift apart. Actually, it's very likely they're going to. You can keep the hands on the floor, or for a deeper stretch, walk your hands up to the thighs. Sitting up nice and tall, a couple of deep breaths. Again. Slowly walk your hands back down to the floor. You don't want to do that one too much or for too long. Untuck the toes. You can sit the hips back. Child's pose. Take a big breath in. And big breath out. All right, let's walk the hands in. I do not teach weightlifting. I am not a certified personal trainer. I am certified in yoga and aerial yoga. All right. Sweep the legs around. Let's reach them out. Take a second and give them a little shake, a little wiggle. Loosey-goosey here. Working on the hamstrings a little bit more. I'm going to take the left foot, bring it towards the inner thigh. Flex the right toes towards the face. You might feel a stretch on the hamstring just by sitting up nice and tall. All I want you to do is walk the hands forward, reaching the chest forward, not rounding. So can you keep your spine long as you come forward? Go forward as far as you are able with that good form. Okay, good day. You have a good day too, Pino. Thanks for dropping in. Lengthen through the crown of the head, reaching forward slowly. Now, take the toes and point them. Try to come down a little bit farther. And then try to flex the toes again in that slightly deeper stretch. Ooh. You might feel this in your calf or the back of the knee or the hamstring. It's all connected, so it's all good. But wherever you're feeling it, just let that sensation exist. Don't try to fight it. Maybe you point the toes again, come down a little bit farther, and flex the toes. Whew. Deeper stretch. And then slowly walk it back in. Sitting up nice and tall. Walk it forward as far as you can, but this time I want you to round over the leg. Nose in the vague direction of your knee. Coming forward. Hands will come to the foot, the ankle, the calf. You can keep them on the floor if you like. But this time I want you to squeeze your thigh as strong as you can. Flex your toes back towards you. And then relax. Squeeze. Relax. Again, squeeze. Relax. You can let the head hang forward, wherever that is for you. And deep breath in. And deep breath out. Slowly walk the hands back in. And take the left leg forward. Right foot comes in. Pino says, last question, a bit ridiculous. How much do you... What? I don't understand your question, and I'm not going to answer it. Right foot comes in. Left leg is long. Flex the toes back towards your face. And walk the hands forward. Reaching the chest forward, spine is long, coming into as deep of a fold as you can. Holding here for a moment. And then we'll point the toes, try to come a little bit lower, and flex. Point, and flex. Softening into the stretch as much as you can. Point, a little bit farther, and flex. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly walk the hands back in. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath. And this time as you come forward, round into it, hands can come to the feet, the ankles, the calf, the floor, wherever you feel comfortable. Nose is coming towards the knee. Squeeze through the thigh and relax. Squeeze. Relax. Again, squeeze. Relax. Melt a little bit farther into the stretch. Let the head hang forward. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly walk back up. And straighten out the right leg. Give it a shake. Give it a wiggle. Yeah, we don't talk about my body on this stream, so you can stop asking these questions. You're welcome to do yoga with me. You're welcome to ask yoga questions, but we don't talk about my body. From here, plant your hands next to your hips, bring yourself forward, and slowly lay back. Laying all the way back onto your back, you're welcome to take the knees side to side if that feels good, or just tilt the hips forward and back. Nice deep breath. Draw both knees up into the chest. Give them a hug in real tight. Try to relax your head down to the floor and try to reach out through your sit bones. You can have one hand on each knee. You can clasp your hands together or grab your wrist like I'm doing here. But just try to create as much length in the spine as you can as you draw the knees in for compression in the hips. So anytime you stretch the hips, you want to give them that opposite movement, that little bit of compression. And slowly release. Bring the feet down to the floor. Press the palms into the floor. Fingertips are reaching for your heels, nice and strong. And then we're going to press down and slowly peel the hips up off the floor, lifting them up towards the ceiling as high as you can. Now you're trying to activate the back side of the body. And slowly lower back down. If you felt that more in your quads, then we want to kind of change where we're pushing into the feet. Slowly peel yourself up, pressing the hips up high. Think about drawing the heels in towards your shoulders, and this is going to help you engage the back of the body even more. And slowly lower back down. You can take the knees, reach them side to side. Big breath in. And we're going to do one more bridge pose. Back to center. We press up nice and slow, lifting up as high as you can. You can start to walk the hands towards each other, and if you've got the range, you can interlace your fingers, pressing the fist down to the floor, possibly coming up onto the shoulders a little bit. Deep breath in, squeeze the heels towards the hands, deep breath out, and then we'll slowly unwind. Bring it back down to the floor, hug the knees in tight, give it a little rock, side to side. You have a good day too, Pino. All right, take the left leg, reach it out nice and long, draw the right knee into your chest, and we're going to bring it across the body. I want you to take your knee all the way to the floor. Roll onto your side as much as you need to. Try not to scoot your hips. Take your right arm, stretch it for the ceiling, and then slowly out wide, coming into a twist. Now maybe your right shoulder comes down to the floor. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's perfectly okay. Deep breaths in this deep twist helps to wring out the spine. If you want to take it a little bit farther, reach your right hand down for the edge of your mat. And you're going to bend your left knee and try to get a hold of your foot. Now, if you can't get a hold of your foot, that's perfectly okay. It takes quite a bit to open up the quad so that you can get a hold of the foot without it being a problem. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We'll we'll slowly release all the way out of this, coming back to center. Set the right foot down to bend up the left, and we'll switch it out. Straighten out the right leg, draw the left knee into the chest, right hand will bring it across the body, all the way down to the floor. Left arm stretches up to the ceiling, and then slowly out wide. Maybe your left shoulder comes down to the floor, maybe it doesn't. Softening into the twist as much as you can. If you did on the other side and you want to take it deeper here, bend up your right knee, reach your left hand down, and try to get a hold of your foot. If this is too intense, always come back to whatever the previous step was. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly release the foot. Release it back to center. And you can bend up the right knee. Work my way back on my mat. Pull the knees into the chest. Hug them in tight. Nice and strong. All right, take one hand to each knee. Cross the ankles. Give yourself a little rock and roll all the way up to a seated position. And you can either swing the legs around to one side or just rock yourself forward, rolling across the tops of the feet to come up to a tabletop position. This is probably going to be one of our last poses today. Walk the hands forward just a little bit and slide your right knee up to your right wrist. Heel will come underneath your left hip, and then slowly, gently settle yourself back into a pigeon pose. Now, the more you bring your right foot forward towards your left wrist, the deeper this stretch is going to be. The more you tuck that foot under the midline of the body, the lighter the stretch is going to be. So find where you need to be today. Once you feel okay, make sure your hips are level, hips are even. We're not sitting over to one side. Everything is stacked. Come down, maybe to the elbows. You can stay on the palms if that feels all right. And then you can also walk the hands forward, releasing the forehead down to the floor. I generally like to stay on my elbows. Something about the structure of my hips doesn't like it when I come down all the way. So you're welcome to reach the arms forward, bring the forehead down if it feels like a good place for you to be. If not, just stay on the elbows. Nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. We're going to make this a more active stretch. I want you to press the hands down into the floor. Press the top of your left foot down into the floor, almost as if you were going to lift your hips up from there. We're not actually lifting, but I want you to find that squeeze. And then relax. Press. Relax. Press. And relax. Let's do that one more time. Squeeze. And relax. Take the left fingers and swing them over towards your right elbow, but we're going to take the right hand up to the thigh and find a twist, just like we did in our lunge earlier. If you want to go a little bit farther, if you're looking for a more pretzel-y stretch, take the right hand and reach it back, bend the elbow, and try to find your right foot. That's the one under your hip right now. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, big breath in. And we'll slowly release to unwind. Press into the palms and lift up. If you can, come up to the fingertips. Come up to a proud pigeon, lifting the heart up as high as you can. Slowly, carefully set the weight over onto the right hip so the left leg can come around. Right heel tucks in towards the left hip. Left heel will either be at the inside edge of the knee, top of the knee, or the outside edge of the knee. If you can get your foot to the outside edge, make sure that it's planted down on the floor. Both sit bones are pushing down, left hand behind, right arm stretches up, create length. Bring your elbow to the knee and slowly find a twist. Now, if you can't quite get your elbow to the knee, you're also welcome to hug the knee in. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, inhale, lengthen up, sit up as tall as you can. Exhale, find a deeper twist. And then slowly unwind. Let's take the left leg, swing it back, and come up onto a tabletop position. Walk the hands forward just a little bit. Left knee comes up to the left wrist. Heel underneath the right hip. Tuck the back toes. Let's walk it back. Settling down into your pigeon pose. If you did on the other side, come down to the elbows. If you did on the other side, you can walk the hands forward, bringing the forehead to the floor. I'm going to stay right here on the elbows. Lengthening and softening. Making it a more active pose, press the hands down into the floor, press the top of the right foot down, feel that engagement in the front of the hip, and relax. Keep the belly strong, it's not just hanging out. Press. Relax. Again, press. Relax. Do that one more time. Press. Relax. Take the right fingers, sweep them over towards the left elbow. Left hand slides up to the thigh. Find your twist. If you did on the other side, we'll reach the left hand straight back. Bend and try to find your left foot. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, big inhale. Big exhale. We'll slowly unwind, and as we do so, bring the left hand to the floor, press up, right hand maybe up to the fingertips, lift up, proud pigeon. Be the proudest little pigeon you can be. Carefully rock yourself over to the left thigh. Slowly bring the right leg around. Match what you did on the other side. So left heel is towards the right hip. Right heel is on the inside, top of, outside of the left knee. Both sit bones are planted into the floor. Right hand behind. Left arm stretches up, elbow to the knee, and twist. Big strong breaths, finding a deeper twist than before. And slowly unwind. Now, I'm going to take the legs and just come to a comfortable seated position. Leg in front, leg on top, whatever works better for you. Take a big breath in, reach the arms out nice and wide, open up through the chest. And as you exhale, sweep the right arm underneath the left, bend at the elbows. You can press the backs of the hands towards one another, or try to bring the right fingers towards your face and to your palms. Now notice how far apart my thumbs are. I'm not trying to match hands. I don't know if you can see this. I'm not trying to match hands. There we go. It kind of looks like a chicken. Um, you just want to try to get the fingertips to the palms and do not grab your thumb. Draw the elbows down towards the belly, stretching the tops of the shoulders. And then maybe slowly lift your elbows up, try to get them in line with the shoulders, and press the hands forward into a deeper stretch. You can see here, see if that works, yes, how high my elbows are and how far my hands are forward. Slowly relax it down, unwind, reach the arms out wide, big stretch. And then sweep the left arm underneath, bend at the elbows, backs of the hands towards each other, or fingertips to palm, elbows draw down. Elbows lift up, hands draw forward. Slowly unwind, reach it out wide. Hands to the knees, sitting up tall. You can roll the shoulders a couple of times if that feels good. Wiggle it around, loosey-goosey. We'll take 3 deep breaths together to close the class. Big inhale. Big exhale. Again, big inhale. Into the belly. Exhale. On this last one, inhale, circle, sweep the arms all the way up. Gather up all the goodness. Press the palms together and draw them down to the heart ceiling in your practice. It's been my pleasure to guide you through this class. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. How do we feel? Pretty good? All right. So, let's see. Any announcements today? Next week is going to be Yoga in Nature again. We will be back up in the Adirondacks. It's not going to affect you guys at all. It just affects my backdrop. It worked out really, really well last week, except for a minor hiccup with the sound, and I think that was just because my microphone wasn't plugged in all the way. So, hopefully I'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, if you would like to support me, one of the best ways you can do that is by sharing. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is also Fit Strong Fairy Mom, and share a video from there with your friends if you have one that you really like. Fashion Theory, ooh, so much better. Thanks for a great class. You were so welcome, darling. Crow Girl, several of my body parts swore at you quite emphatically. Good, that is what I go for. But so good. Good. You are welcome. So one of the best ways you can support me is by sharing my Twitch channel, sharing videos from my YouTube channel, sharing my Facebook page, sharing my Instagram even. If there are posts that you've seen that you like, you can share those. But mostly share the videos, invite your friends. When I create the events on Facebook for these classes, share them to your page, invite your friends. You can actually go in there and click invite. It is set up so that you can invite absolutely anybody. And just encourage them to come to yoga with us. Build this community. And if you would like to support me in a monetary way, there is a PayPal link on the About Me section here on Twitch and also in the event page on Facebook. I also have a Patreon, which is Fit Strong Fairy Mom, and that is not just my yoga, but also a look into my entire life, everything that I'm doing. And I've actually got some super secret, not so secret things that I've been sharing with my patrons that I'm working on and working towards. So if you have interest in being in the know, you can go and check that out. I do also do private sessions through my Patreon, so you can sign up for those there as well. I also have a link to my Amazon wish list, because if you want to spoil me, you're absolutely welcome to. I will not mind. But yeah, the best way you can support me is by sharing everything, everywhere, with everyone. I think that'll do it. I think that's it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.